Hello student, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this lecture 2, I'm gonna discuss two topics, Lenz law and eddy current. So make sure you have watched first video in which I have discussed Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction and magnetic flux. So let's start this video with topic Lenz law. What is Lenz law? So this law was deduced by German physicist Lenz in 1834 to find out polarity, that is direction of induced EMF and the induced current in a loop. This law states that the direction of induced EMF or induced current is such that it opposes the change that is producing it. It means whenever there is a change in magnetic flux, induced EMF is set up. The direction of induced current through the loop is such that it opposes the cause which produce it. Okay. So for this, consider a situation. This is a coil and this is bar magnet. When bar magnet is taken towards this coil with north pole towards the coil, magnetic flux increases. Okay. In this situation, a bar magnet is moved towards a stationary loop as shown in this figure. As bar magnet is moved towards the right, magnetic flux through the loop increases with time. This produces an EMF and hence induced current must flow in the loop in such a manner that it opposes the direction So the induced current in the loop will therefore flow in anti-clockwise direction or to produce a magnetic flux through the loop towards the left. As a result, the current loop becomes a magnetic dipole. Okay. So this is south pole and it becomes north pole. This is north pole. Okay. The current loop becomes a magnetic dipole with north pole on its left face and the south pole on its right face, as shown in this figure. If we take another situation, in this, if the magnet is moved away from this loop, when we take in magnet away from this loop, the magnetic flux linked with this loop decreases. To counteract this decrease in the flux, the induced current will flow in clockwise direction. Okay. Induced current flows in this coil in clockwise direction. When we taken away this magnet from this coil. Clear? So this becomes north pole and this becomes south pole. Okay, if magnet is moved towards the left, that is away from the loop, magnetic flux through the loop decreases and induced current will flow in clockwise direction. While in previous case, we saw that induced current flow in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So in this condition, induced current is flowing in clockwise direction to produce a flux through a loop to the right. The loop therefore becomes a magnetic dipole with south pole on its left face and north pole on its right face. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. That is if, so what is Lenz law? The direction of induced EMF or induced current is such that it opposes the changes that producing it. Okay. or we can say if the current is induced due to the motion of the magnet, then the induced current in coil sets itself to stop this motion of the magnet. Clear? If the current is induced due to the change in current in the primary coil, then induced current is such that it tends to stop the change. Okay. Lenz law follow the conservation of energy. Lenz law consequence of the law of conservation of energy. So we have seen that when magnetic flux through a closed loop changes and induced current is set up in it, the observation may lead to conclude that electricity or electric current has been created out of nothing, but it is not so. It is essentially to do the transformation of mechanical energy into electrical energy. The mechanism of transformation is as follows. When we take a north pole of the bar, magnet is moved towards the loop or the coil, forming a closed circuit. The induced current flow through the circuit to oppose the increase of magnetic flux through the loop. So as a result, the loop becomes a magnetic dipole, as we have done in previous case. Okay, when we take in bar magnet, this is bar magnet. This bar magnet is taken towards the coil. Magnetic flux linked with this coil increases, and induced current set up in this coil. So this becomes south pole and this becomes north pole. South and north. Okay, so as a result, the loop becomes a magnetic dipole. The face of the loop being approaches by a north pole of magnet becomes north pole, and the other face becomes south pole. Clear? The mechanical work is therefore done against the force of repulsion between north pole and north pole. Okay, thus the mechanical energy has been converted into electrical energy. I hope this is clear to you. Similarly, when bar magnet is taken away from this coil, we have seen in previous case, when bar magnet is taken away from this coil, this is north, this is south. That is, bar magnet is moved to left side. The face of the loop in front of north pole of magnet becomes south pole, and this becomes north pole of the current loop. So work is therefore done against the force of attraction between north-south pole to move the bar magnet away from the loop. So the mechanical energy converted into electrical energy in this loop. I hope this is clear to you. We therefore conclude that Lenz's law is consequence of a law of conservation of energy. So according to Lenz's law, the induced EMF opposes the change that produces it. It is this opposition against which we perform mechanical work is causing the change in magnetic flux. Therefore, mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Clear? So, Lenz's law is accordance with the law of conservation of energy. I hope this point is clear to you. How Lenz's law is consequence of conservation of energy. If, however, the reverse would happen, that is, induced EMF does not oppose or aid the change, then a little change in magnetic flux would produce an induced current, which would help the change of flux further, thereby producing more current. The increased EMF would then cause further change of flux, and it would further increases the current and so on. This would create energy out of nothing, but which would violate the law of conservation of energy. I hope this is clear to you. Now, expression for induced EMF based on both laws. We have discussed about Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. These two laws are, first law says that when magnetic flux through a coil changes on an EMF is induced in it, which lasts so long as the change of flux continues. Second law says magnitude of this EMF, induced EMF, is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux. So mathematically it is written at E equal to minus d phi over dt. So here we are expressing for induced EMF based on these two laws. So we know that E equal to minus d phi over dt, or we can write this equation equal to minus phi 2 minus phi 1 upon t. And for n number of turns of the coil, that means if coil has a n number of turns, then we can write equal to minus n d phi over dt, or equal to minus n phi 2 minus phi 1 upon t. Now how to find the induced current? So we know that equal to IR. From this, I equal to minus d phi over r dt. Here I is induced current. Expression for the charge. So we know that I equal to dq over dt. From this above equation, dq over dt equal to minus d phi over r dt. Or we can write dq equal to minus d phi over r. Note that induced EMF does not depend on resistance of the circuit, whereas induced current and induced charge depends on resistance, as we have seen in previous equations. Now methods of producing induced EMF. First is by changing magnetic field. Magnetic flux phi can be changed by changing magnetic field B, and hence EMF can be induced in the circuit as done in Faraday's experiment. Okay, as we have discussed in first video, phi equal to B into A. Magnetic flux can be changed by changing magnetic field, and hence EMF can be changed in the circuit. Okay. Second is by changing area of the coil A available in magnetic field. By changing area. For this, magnetic flux phi can be changed by changing the area of loop. Phi equal to B into A. If area of the loop change, magnetic flux is changed. Okay. So magnetic flux can be changed by changing area of the loop, which is acted upon by magnetic field B, and hence EMF can be induced in the circuit. In this figure, you can see uniform magnetic field. A conductor PQRS is moving in this magnetic field. Conductor moves from P to P dash. P dash, S dash is new area of the conductor in magnetic field. Okay. See this again. Magnetic field lines. Conductor PQRS. Consider a conductor PQRS. Okay. Is partially in uniform magnetic field. This uniform magnetic field is acting perpendicular into the plane of the loop. Okay. This conductor is moved from P to P dash, S to S dash. Let P dash, P, S, S dash represent the boundary of magnetic field. Sorry, represent a new conductor in magnetic field. area of this conductor is dA. Okay, this loop is moved horizontally to right to left with a velocity v. Okay, as a result, the magnetic flux linked with this loop also increases and EMF induced in this loop. Clear? See in this figure. So distance moved by loop in a small interval of time dt is given by S dash equal to, we can write this S dash equal to S dash equal to V into dt. Okay, V into dt. So note down this. Okay, V into dt. So this S dash equal to V into dt. So this distance is V into dt. Clear? Now change in area dA is given by dA equal to PS into S dash. Okay, PS into S dash. So we can write this equation. PS into S dash. Here P dash S dash equal to L. From this, S dash equal to V into dt, P dash S dash equal to L. So area dA is given by L into V into dt. LV dt. Area is written as dA is given by L into V dt. I hope this is clear to you. So loop PQRS is slided into uniform magnetic field as shown in this figure and perpendicular to magnetic field. The change in area of coil under this influence of field is dA in time dt. So this causes increase in magnetic flux. Okay. So d phi equal to B, we know that d phi change in flux is given by d phi equal to B into dA, change in area. Here dA is change in area. So B into dA. Here dA is given by LV dt. So we can write B LV dt. From this equation, d phi over dt, we can write d phi. From this equation, we can write d phi over dt equal to BLV. Okay. From Faraday's cycle law, E equal to BLV. So equal to minus d phi over dt. From this equation, we can write minus d phi over dt. Here d phi over dt is BLV. It is minus BLV. I hope this is clear to you. Equal to minus BLV. The induced EMF is due to motion of the loop is called motional EMF. This induced EMF minus BLV is called motional EMF. If the loop is pulled out of magnetic field, then E equal to BLV. Okay. In this case, loop is taken into the magnetic field, motional EMF is minus BLV. If loop is pulled out of magnetic field, then E equal to BLV. The direction of induced current is anti-clockwise in the loop. That is P dash, S dash, R dash, Q dash, P dash by Fleming's right-hand rule or Lenz rule. I hope this is clear to you. So according to Lenz rule, the direction of induced current is such that it opposes the cause of changing magnetic flux. Here, cause of changing magnetic flux is due to motion of loop and increase in area of coil in uniform magnetic field. I hope this point is clear to you. Therefore, this motion of loop is to be opposed. So the current is setting itself such that by Fleming's left-hand rule, the conductor RPS experience force to right, whereas the loop is trying to move left. So against this force, mechanical work is done, which is converted into electrical energy, induced current. So note that if loop is completely inside boundary of magnetic field, then there will not be any change in magnetic flux, and so there will not be induced current in loop. So what is Fleming's right hand rule? Fleming's right hand rule is according to Fleming's right hand rule is if the current central finger, forefinger and thumb of right hand are stretched mutually perpendicular to each other as shown in this figure. If the central finger, forefinger and thumb of right hand are stretched mutually perpendicular to each other and forefinger points to magnetic field as shown in figure, thumb points in the direction of motion force as shown in this figure, then central finger points to direction of induced current in conductor. Okay. Now third point is by changing orientation of coil in magnetic field. Magnetic flux phi can be changed by changing relative orientation of loop with magnetic field B, and hence EMF can be induced in the circuit. So for this, here B is magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. In this magnetic field, when a coil is rotated in this magnetic field, its orientation with respect to B, that is angle theta between normal to plane of the coil and B, starts changing. Okay, this changes the magnetic flux through the coil and produce an induced EMF, and hence induced current flows in coil. So consider a coil of n turns, each of area of cross section A and capable of rotating about horizontal axis, which is perpendicular to uniform magnetic field B, pointing horizontally towards right. So let initially pointing horizontal towards left, let initially the plane of coil is vertical so that magnetic field lines are perpendicular to its plane. Let initially, okay. Here P, Q, R, S is a coil. Okay. At t equal to 0, theta equal to 0. So phi equal to N, B, A. Here N is so phi equal to N, B, A cos theta. Okay. At time t with angular velocity omega, theta, we know that theta is equal to omega t. At t equal to 0, at t equal to 0, loop is assumed to be perpendicular to magnetic field and theta is 0, as I told you. So phi equal to NBA cos omega t, here theta equal to omega t. So we can write phi equal to NBA cos omega t. Differentiate this equation, we will get d phi over dt equal to minus nba omega sin omega t, or equal to minus d phi over dt, or we can write equal to nba omega sin omega t. I hope this point is clear to you. So here equal to e naught sin omega t. E naught is nba omega is maximum EMF. Okay. E attains maximum value or the peak value when sin omega t is 1. So if sin omega t is 1, for this omega t is 90 degree or 270 degree. So maximum or peak value of EMF is given by E naught equal to nba omega. Clear? The EMF changes continuously in magnitude and periodically in direction with respect to time, giving rise to alternating EMF. Okay. So from this figure, at x-axis theta equal to omega t, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, 5 pi by 2, 3 pi, 7 pi by 2, 4 pi. In t equal to t by 4, t by 2, 3 t by 4, t, 5 t by 4, 3 t by 2, 7 t by 4, and 2t. On y-axis is EMF. So EMF E is, so this is the EMF changes continuously in magnitude and periodically in direction. Periodically in direction with respect to time, giving rise to alternating EMF. I hope this is clear to you. So E naught is peak value of this EMF. If initial position of coil is taken as 0, that is normal to coil is at 90 degree with the magnetic field, then theta becomes theta plus pi by 2 or omega t plus pi by 2. So E equal to E naught cos omega t. So for this, theta equal to omega t, pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, 5 pi by 2, 3 pi, 7 pi by 2, 4 pi. And time is as shown in this graph. Okay. So for this, when at initial point position of a coil is taken as theta is 0, that is normal to coil is at 90 degree with magnetic field, then theta becomes theta plus pi by 2. So for this graph will be this equal to E naught cos omega t. I hope this is clear to you. So alternating EMF and consequently alternating current can be expressed in sine or cosine function. This method of inducing EMF is the basic principle of generator. Now let's talk about AD current. AD current is induced circulating or looping current produced in a solid metal due to change in magnetic field or magnetic flux in metal are called AD current. Okay. AD currents are the current induced in a bulk pieces of conductor when the amount of magnetic flux linked with this conductor changes. However, their flow pattern resembles swirling eddies in water. So that's why they are called AD current. And these eddies current discovered by Foucault in year 1895. Hence, they are also called Foucault current. I hope this is clear to you. So let's see in this figure. In this figure, you can see there is a metallic block and magnetic field in this direction. Okay. When we move a metal plate out of a magnetic field, relative motion of the field and the conductor again induce a current in this conductor. The conduction electron making up the induced current whirl about within the plate as if they were caught in AD of water. This is called AD's current. Okay. So in this figure, you can see this is AD current. I hope AD current is clear to you. So what is AD current? The induced current, circulating currents in producing in a solid metals due to change in magnetic field in metal are called AD current. Okay. The magnitude of AD current is given by I equal to induced EMF upon resistance. Induced EMF E upon R. We know that E equal to minus d phi over dt. So I equal to minus d phi over dt on R. The direction of AD current is given by Lenz's law of Fleming's right hand rule. I hope this is clear to you. In this figure, you can see the AD current. This is AD current. Now, application of AD current. Application of AD current is in induced furnace. AD currents are used for melting iron ore. Okay. AD currents are used for melting iron ore. In speedometer, AD currents are used to measure the instantaneous speed of vehicle. Okay. In deadbeat galvanometer, AD currents are used to stop damping of coil in short interval. In electric brakes of train, AD currents are produced to stop rotation of axle of the wheel. In energy meter, AD currents are used to measure consumption of electrical energy. In diathermy, AD currents are used for localized heating of tissues in human body. I hope this is clear to you. AD currents are used in electromagnetic damping, induction furnace, magnetic brakes. In magnetic brakes, in some electrically powered trains, strong electromagnets are situated in the train just above the rails. When electromagnets are activated, AD currents induced in the rails opposes motion of the train, as there are no mechanical linkages. Therefore, the braking action is smooth. Okay. Induction motor or AC motor is yet another important application of AD current. A rotating magnetic field produces strong AD current in a rotor, which starts rotating in direction of rotating magnetic field. Okay. In speedometer of automobiles and energy meter, AD currents are also used in diathermy, that is in deep heat treatment of a human body. Some of undesirable effect of AD currents are they oppose relative motion. They involve loss of energy in form of heat. The excessive heating may break the insulation in the appliances and reduce their life. How to minimize AD current? The metal core to be used in appliances like dynamo, transformer, choke coil, motor, etc. is taken in the form of thin sheet. Each sheet is electrically insulated from the other by insulating varnish like such a core is called laminated core. The plane of these sheets are arranged parallel to magnetic field so that they cut across the AD current path. So large resistance between thin sheets confines the AD currents to individual sheet. Hence AD currents are reduced to a large extent. I hope this is clear to you.